Holy shit, last weekend, Madison Square Garden, Kill Tony. If you were there, God bless you. If you weren't there, fucking, why didn't you come? No, they will put the shows up on YouTube at some point. But wow, man, maybe the craziest weekend in comedy I've ever had. The surprises, the bucket pulls, the legend bucket pulls, the 20,000 people a night. Kill Tony, I've been doing that show since its inception 10 years ago in the belly room of the Comedy Store. And to see how it's evolved and the amount of people that come out is truly wild, and a testament to Tony and Brian Redband for sticking with it, believing in something, being consistent. That is such a key component of this business. To succeed in any part of it is not stopping, not quitting, not giving up, however you want to equate it. And so to be around for that initial run and then to see where it's gotten is not a total shock, because you see how fun the show is if you've been to it or watched it on YouTube or seen it now in these arenas. But you also understand that like comedy is going through a little bit of a shift, pre-Brady roast, but I think now, especially with Kill Tony's fandom and growth becoming a phenomenon, everyone's like, if you're a comedy fan, you know of Kill Tony, and you're not expecting that type of raw, refreshing, edgy stuff, but it's nice to have that be at the forefront and have most people who are into comedy not turned off by it. Excuse me, just threw up in my mouth. But if you're not throwing up in your mouth, you're not truly living. We'll be right back. I did Dr. Phil on night one of the Madison Square Garden Kill Tony shows. I came out, I did a stand-up set. I roasted and toasted everybody that was on the show. Hans, David Lucas, Casey, William Montgomery, Tony, and Redband. Brought Redband out some penis cakes that my bud Norm got for us at some, I should remember the name of the store. They hit me up on Instagram and said, we supplied the penis cakes for you. And I was like, stop messaging me. No, I didn't want to forget the name of them, but hit me up again. I'll give you a shout out on the next pod. But they make penis like corn dogs almost. And so I got like 12 of them, brought them to Redband, and gave them to him for his 50th birthday. And then after that, which by the way, my stand-up set, I've never felt more comfortable, I think, on stage. And that's wild. I walked out, again, Tony was like, got to get your makeup gal, Jen Aspinall, out again. She brought her assistant, Heather, to do me up, because they also were of high usage to us on night two, which I'll get to in a second. By the way, the show's getting ready to start, so if you hear some music and laughter, that's my opener. Seneca, check him out, and Ramin Mostafafi. They're both. We'll put up both their Instagram handles right here. Check them out. But I was so comfy on stage, and to be in an arena, 20,000 people, it was just kind of not baffling, but definitely took me by surprise how not nervous I was. Do you know what I'm saying? And I've done a handful of arenas with Burt Kreischer and the Practical Jokers, four now with Kill Tony, but I really just felt locked in. I also felt prepared. You still don't know how the jokes are going to go. You're doing them for the first time, but I felt real, just stable and stationary. Sometimes when you're nervous, you move without a purpose, and I just was fucking stoic and ready to go, and so that was kind of cool. I had Joe Rogan, Andrew Schultz, and Shane Gillis on the dais of the panel, and they were a lot of fun. Joe had never seen me do Dr. Phil, so that was fucking cool, because obviously I went on his podcast last week, and that was cool for him to get to see that live and see me do my thing. We've been on shows at the Comedy Store a bunch, Mothership a few times, but he's never, you just assume everyone's seen everybody, but guys like that don't go out of their way to look your shit up. They see you or they don't see you. And it was really cool to have that opportunity for him to see me do it live. And the pop that Phil got when I came out was wild. And Joe had this big, peacock, big bird jacket on, and he's wild shades. He just wanted to be fucking silly, he said, which he nailed that. And then Shane and Schultz, it was a great panel to be able to perform for, too. That's what I guess I'm getting at by how surprised I was at how comfy I was. That's a fucking juggernaut of comedians to your left that you don't want to, bomb in front of. Every comic, I don't care who you are, where you're at, whether you're 2 years in or 12 years in, when you have pros in the room, you want to fucking crush, man. So seeing them over there was a little nerve-wracking, but I settled in and felt really good about what I was about to do. And then, which I just posted on my Instagram, Tony goes, Dr. Phil, we're not letting you go just yet. We got something special for you. Look up at that screen, Phil. Look up at that screen. And it was a 6-minute highlight reel of all my Kill Tony performances. From the first time in the belly room in 2014 or 2017 to my last Joe Biden appearance with Shane at the mothership when Shane and I did Biden-Trump, which now I think has 16 million views. I mean, wow. I don't think Two Roads, One Cup has 16 million views. That's not true. I think it's got 49 billion views, and that's terrible. Yeah, it was awesome. I thought I was dying. I thought they were playing a fucking highlight reel to be like, and then Real Phil was going to come out and stab me in the neck and go, "We won't be right back," and just end my run as this character. But it was really cool, man. I've been a part of this show for this long, and that really got to me. And then seeing everything I brought to it, and how cool it is that Tony and Red Band have been so welcoming of me in this space. It's truly the best playground for comedy. Getting to be myself, have a true avenue for me to be myself. Characters, stand up, roast and toast people, also try to be a nice person. Having a one-stop shop for that really tugged at my heartstrings. And then I got emotional for Tony and Red Band because it's fucking beautiful that they got a show to be as popular as it is. Again, there's no guarantee in any of this. So that was really special. I got choked up, and then I was like, I can't cry. I can't cry dressed as Dr. Phil. Also, I got choked up. I couldn't fight the tears. But I was like, I can't cry like this. I can't cry in front of Joe Rogan before I do his podcast. And I can't cry in front of Joe Rogan while he's dressed in fucking Big Bird's mom's jacket. So, a lot of things kept me, level-headed. But I was moved, man. I will not lie. I was very moved. My wife was sobbing. I had a lot of people tell me they were choked up. Ari Shaffir and Joe DeRosa, I get off stage, were telling me they welled up. The Are You Garbage guys, Kevin and H. Foley, were very emotional. Like, dude, that was fucking beautiful. It was cool, man. Again, you control what you can control. Don't be a piece of shit. Be as kind as you can to everybody. It does go a long way. We all get frustrated and jaded or whatever. It's just all parts of the ups and downs of this business. But man, if you can kill things with kindness, not take things personally, not only is it a healthier way to live, but people then are been so quick to celebrate something like that, like me getting into the Kill Tony Hall of Fame, which is what that video led to, which was wild and very unexpected and very cool. And Tony said, I think I'm the first non-regular and whatever it is. It was just it was a big deal, and they made a big deal about it in the video, and everybody getting to see. And again, Joe had never even really seen me on stage, so now he gets to see this walk down memory lane of all the stuff I've done on the show, and that's cool. And it's cool that people, at the end of the day, I love what I do so much, and it's cool that people dig it, and that you're all you want to do as a comedian, actor, whatever in this world is make people laugh, and not just for your own selfish reasons. I told Joe this on the Joe Rogan Experience that my mind has shifted definitely as far as when you start out doing stand-up and you're in the business, it's all for you. You're trying to move your career along, get more accolades, get more notoriety. But man, the amount of messages I now get for people watching, About Last Night podcast, my Dr. Phil stuff, crowd work clips, my special, like and subscribe on YouTube, which you can check out. There's a fucking graphic right there. Kill Tony stuff. People send me messages of like, man, it's the only thing getting me through this rough time. My dad just passed, or my fish just got AIDS, or my folks split, and like, this is how I get through the day. I lost my job, and comedy really is medicine, man. It really just has this wild impact, and I'm now becoming way more cognizant of that, and it's making what I do feel even more special, impactful, and worthwhile. Because I love doing it. It's not. Look, I've always been driven to do it and bring and aware that it brings joy to people. But I'm not gonna lie. There's getting all these messages on a daily basis and seeing the love that people, show you and the joy that they're getting from what you're doing. Yeah, man, that definitely makes me want to ramp things up a bit and just provide even more content, shows, specials. I feel like I'm just getting going. But that was night one. Wild. The surprises that came out. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen online and from the live streams. I mean, Harlan Williams, Joey Diaz, fucking Pauly Shore, Jeff Ross, Louis J. Gomez, Big J. Okerson. I mean, it was Andrew Dice Clay, and I got to talk for the first time in a while, and he wanted to do all these videos with me backstage. Phil, like, come act like I'm fucking trying to talk to you, and you don't want anything to do with me. And he comes up and I go, hey, let me live my life, Andrew. Can you fuck off? I'm with my friends. Fucking with this fucking guy. Just seeing him in Madison Square Garden. I mean, I got a picture. We'll post it right here with me, Shane Gillis, Harlan Williams, and Andrew Dice Clay. Marry, fuck, kill, kill. Wow. I mean, we were all in the room together. Shane Gillis will tell you this too, because we had a great moment where I go, Dice, dude, look at this little foursome. I got to get a shot of this. He goes, yeah, let me get a second. I got to go in the room and get my head together. And I go, all good, man. And then Shane looks at me and goes, wow. And he goes, embarrassing. Dressed like that, shot down, wow. And we just start laughing. And then Dice came out and we got the picture. It was awesome. He goes, you know what, let's do it now before we forget. Getting to know Shane Gillis, a real treat, man. One of the funniest guys I've ever seen live. One of the nicest guys. And that's one of the cool things about this business. Yeah, you get into a position to do certain things like these Kill Tony shows. Doing Phil and Elaine on Kill Tony opened the door for Tony being like, we're doing Biden and Trump. I bought a new vest. Come on down. It's going down Austin, Texas. Getting to do that with Shane, we talked maybe 5 or 6 times at clubs prior to that. And it'd been fun. He was on the New Year's show when I did Phil in Austin, and so we got to see each other there, but not hang as much as we have in the last week. And really cool to get to know somebody through an experience like that. And so we're doing Biden and Trump night 2. And again, we're in the makeup room, chatting, just getting to know each other more too, bullshitting. I always try to feel people out too. I'm never going full-on conversation. You pepper it in here and there, see what everyone's comfy with. Everyone's got a different threshold for how much they want to chat pre-show, right? But so we're really just riffing it up and having a good time. And then we get into makeup, and I think we were originally supposed to be something like a special treat at the very end. And Tony switched it up last minute and was like, you guys got to be on the panel with David Tell, which was awesome because when you get into makeup like that, 2-3 hours, you want to be in the show as long as possible. Also, Shane and I had such a blast the first time at the mothership that we wanted to have as much time to play around again. And so, man, do we have a blast. I mean, almost arguably funnier than the first time around. We were trying to make each other laugh a lot more, pinching each other, being like, what the fuck, if something was super funny or if somebody had a good line. Or I was like, dude, you got to find a way to insert all the Jurassic Park stuff again that you did from the first time we did this. And he did it and then and was kind of nudging me like, fucking, there you go. And it was just awesome. And then getting to chat with him at the after party was awesome. I keep using that word, but it was just very cool to get to know someone that you respect and is such a goat in the comedy world. I mean, it doesn't get any cooler and funnier than Shane Gillis, and I don't have to tell you that. If you know what's up, you know that. And just again, getting respect from your peers is a big part of what you want when you get to a certain point in your career. Yeah, you win awards, you get your own show, you're doing specials. That's all great, but you ask any comedian, I guarantee you everybody wants to be respected, man. And once I started doing the Dr. Phil show, that was another thing that really was a really sweet factor in the fun of all of it, is that people wanting to come on the show that I may not know super well, but really think it's funny, and so they want to come play around, and so now they want to come do something that I've created, right? And it's like, wow, I've been watching you for years, and I think you're here, and now you're looking at me as an equal, and that's awesome. There's no other way to describe that, and there's no path for that. You just again gotta fucking grind it out, man, and control what you can control. And doing all these characters is something I've always wanted to do. I've had managers and agents be like, "You're not a character guy, not your thing." Either whether it's you're a leading man or your weight fluctuates, you're the fat best friend who fucking dies in a hot tub, whatever it is. you know, I just finally was like, I gotta do what makes me what I want to do, whether it leads to anything or not. That truly is the point I got to, where it was like, I just have to do what is fun and makes me happy and is challenging. And I think people will respond. And if they don't, hey man, back to the drawing board. It's just throwing darts, man. That's all this business is just keep on trying shit, man. I mean, my buddy Albert, who's filming the shows for me on the road and this podcast right now, is the one who sent me a thing and was like, you got to do characters all talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? And with you. And then it was like, well, that's a big idea. And like, that's a lot of work and seems crazy. And we have to do that at some point. But then it was like, oh, let's start small with Phil doing you. And then he shot and edited that, the Unfiltered, which you guys have seen. Fucking check it out right there. And that's like one of the most fun things I've ever done. Do you know what I'm saying? And original and cool that even it got to a point to where people were geeked out to see that. And now we're trying to maybe, you know, do more of those and make that a little running series. But Shane and I had a fucking blast. Night 2 at the Garden. A ton more surprises. Aaron Rodgers comes out at the end and throws fucking footballs into the crowd. I'll tell you this much. I leaned over to Aaron, by the way, as Biden, and go, hey, just so you know, the vaccine does work. And he laughed. And super nice guy, man. And him tossing footballs to Shane and I before he threw them into the crowd at Madison Square Garden. Oh, man, it was cool. Having a fucking one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time toss you a ball. I mean, it was like Pam Anderson tossed me a tampon at the height of the Baywatch. That's a bad example. It was like I don't know, a porn star tosses you a bra at the fuck. It was a great moment. That's what I'll say that. Shane, Adam, you know, Biden, Trump, we catch, and then I'm just fucking, as Biden, just trying to fucking rip it. And at one point I pointed to my wife. She was sitting with my buddy Dale Tan and Nikki Paris, and I was like that. And they had been trying to catch balls and thought they were done having their opportunity. So apparently I pointed to my wife and chucked it, and Nikki, thank God, deflected it. Otherwise it would have taken her out, which would have sucked. But that was an insane way to close the show. Jelly Roll sang the national anthem. The energy of Madison Square Garden is something you can't, you just have to see it live, man. I know for Knicks games, everyone talks about how wild it is. Billy Joel concerts, you know, through the roof. But comedy in there is, wow, dude. I'll never experience anything like those 2 days ever again. And I'm super grateful to all the love you guys have shown. Again, check out the highlight reel on my Instagram that I posted. It's on TikTok too, that Christy, one of the producers of Kill Tony, edited. God bless her. An amazing job. It's closed out with the Titty Fuck song as like the kind of the the instrumental that backs up the closing of the montage, which is just hilarious. By the way, we're making Elaine shirts, and they will be out very soon. Elaine shirts with "Call Me for a Titty Fuck" and some other catchphrases, because people keep asking for them. I had a couple in Tacoma, Washington, come up to me, and the woman goes, "My husband was titty fucking me last night," and I started singing "Call Me for a Titty Fuck." I go, "Yeah, I didn't want to know that."